Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back here again. And as you can clearly see, you already see who is on the damn screen. So now, what I'm saying, we about to take it here, what I'm saying, and we taking it all the way back for a little bit. Let's just, recap just on let's just listen and do a little recap and then, what I'm saying, let's uh let's make it happen, Captain. All right.
Let's get into it. Now, here's how this works. One, if you're in the chat room, understand something. If you're in your call queue, here's what I need. I need you to make sure you have YouTube turned off in the background. Only YouTube turned off in the background. You and I are going to be talking. I don't want you watching the comment section, anything else like that. Also, please get me off speakerphone. Just a one-to-one conversation. All right. Now, here's the thing. I understand the many women were told this information. You were not given the correct information. I won't say you were lying to. You weren't given the right information. But the world does not owe you or me understanding. The world does not owe you or me understanding. Okay. Issa, unmute.
Hello?
Andre Hatchett coming through. Antoine Wade coming through. What's going on, baby? What's going on, bro? Issa, how are you?
Hello, Kevin. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm well. So, are you married to Jesus? What did I get wrong?
You didn't get anything wrong. I just wanted to, first of all, thank you for your platform and also contribute as a young girl. I'm 23 and I was basically raised in a church environment that enforced exactly what you said. And I recently had, at the beginning of this year, I had my wake-up call because I live in a predominantly white area and every one of my friends was getting married. And I was wondering what went wrong with me. And in church, they told me to just keep on praying for the right partner. Mm-hmm. But I realized that partner is not going to come from the prayers.
Right.
And see, this is the thing that they're not, actually sharing. This is the information that they're not actually sharing in church anymore. Is faith without works is dead. This is a very God's honest truth. You know what I'm saying? God's not going to bless you without you putting any work in. It just doesn't work that way. That's not how he moves. That's not how he operates. That's not how he even allows the system of the universe to operate. Everything has to put in work in order to gain something or receive something, or you have to give to get. So it's no way that you're going to be able to get anything and you not putting anything out there. And that's what the church is sorely lacking. That's the reason why a lot of men don't go to the church no more. The church is not giving anything at all. And this is a preacher's kid telling you this. I'm telling you now. You know what I'm saying? Even though, my father's passed on years ago, but I grew up in the church, like solidly. You know what I'm saying? Did my due diligence. I was an usher in the church growing up also. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things I did in the church to help out. You know what I'm saying? Growing up. So, it's crazy, but, it is what it is, though. Faith without works is dead. You can't get nothing done without putting in some work.
All right.
And
how old are you?
Yes, I'm 23.
And you live and your church is predominantly white, or the area you live in is predominantly white?
I live in Germany.
Okay.
So it's predominantly white church.
So what do you? And sadly, many young women, especially many black women of color, just told to pray, and that don't work. How come they don't tell white women to pray like that? They tell white women to go to the gym, watch what you eat, be pretty, go to femininity coaching, get etiquette classes, go to where they tell these women to hunt men.
Basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, let me get somebody else on. I'm gonna hold you back in a minute, okay, Issa? Javon, unmute. Latavia, unmute. Who is this Zoom user? Whoever this is in the waiting room, Zoom user, you need to rename yourself. Latavia.
Hi, Kevin.
Javon, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, good. I'm gonna do Latavia first, okay? Latavia, how are you?
Hello.
Where did I get wrong?
You didn't get anything wrong. I just wanted to put my input in.
Okay,
because I have so much.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 20.
20. Are you actively in church?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm in Georgia. I'm actually in Gwinnett. Most of my family's in Mississippi and South Georgia, and I have a lot of women in my life who, most of my family's either married or they're like 35 plus, and they're like, Lord, it's not my man. He's gonna have my man come, and it gets to a point where they're like 15.
They are married or they're waiting to be married?
It's usually one of the exact opposite.
Okay.
There's a lot of married, happy people in my family, and everyone else who's not. God is their husband, and they get to a point where they're hitting 50 and they're.
See, that's where the faith is. Faith without works is dead. All that time that you've been living, and I guarantee you, a lot of them women had plenty of options of men to date, plenty of them. So not one was a suitable option out of, like she said, some are almost 50. You almost 50? And you mean tell me all the men that you ran across your whole life they just were not suitable options to marry at all? Something ain't making no sense. For real though.
Confused because they so far in their careers.
Well, what do you do? What about you? What are you doing?
Currently I'm in school, but I have a boyfriend.
Okay.
So we're working on that.
Okay. How long have you been with your boyfriend?
Almost a year.
Do you want to get married?
Yes.
Is he marriage minded?
Yes.
Are you sure? I mean, have you had the?
From what we talk about.
Okay. Marriage minded. Does he want to marry you?
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, yes.
Well, that doesn't matter, sweetheart.
Right.
I wouldn't know until he got on one knee.
Well, no. Well, see, yes. Here's the thing. Okay. This is where so many of our sisters make go awry. You got time invested in with a guy that you don't know these questions up front. How old is he?
23.
So he's young. Okay.
Yes.
So a young marriage, you got to be prepared to go through all of the hard stuff. The broke, the losing jobs, finding jobs, living in apartments, eating peanut butter and jelly and bologna. Because he does not have the skills or the resources to be a high value man yet. That doesn't come until 35 or 40 years old. You got a guy who may be Henry in training. Are you prepared to go through that with him?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I tell you right there, I don't believe that. And look, man, I just need to know. Be honest with yourself. Are you prepared to go through that with him?
We talk about different things.
I talked about about the downside, man. Are you familiar with T.D. Jakes, the pastor, T.D. Jakes?
No.
T.D. Jakes, America's Minister. Okay. Potter's House.
I don't really. Is it if it's on TV? I don't.
Well,
really
he was
watch.
the president, but he advised Obama.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
See, this is the thing. you have a lot of young people in this society, and keep in mind this video is older video. This was from 2020 during the midst of the pandemic, August 4th, 2020. So but you have a lot of young people in today's society. They don't tend to keep up with a lot of important things that go on with the as far as people who are of real serious status and how they move and what's going on in the world, and people that are making important changes for society itself and things like that. They're oblivious to all that. So that's just kind of is what it is, though, on that aspect.
Young lady, understand something. You're 19 or 20? 20? 20?
20, yes.
Yeah. Again, the downsides of marriage, for richer, for poor,
Yes.
sickness, health, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, through sickness and health. That they mean that. And a man who's
Right.
23, if
Right.
he's ever going to try to be something, he's going to have failures.
Yep.
Especially if he tries to own a business. Most people fail 3 times before they get something to start. Are you prepared to go through that with him? Are you prepared to
Those,
live in an
those
apartment?
are things I've been thinking about more and more the past few months.
Say again.
I said those are things I've been thinking about more and more the
See,
past few months.
She not. That young lady was not mentally prepared to go through the ups and downs that men go through, as far as trying to build their life up and better themselves and things like that. You know what I'm saying? No, she's not mentally prepared for that. I guarantee you her family didn't mentally prepare for that, nor did her church. And that's just the truth of the matter.
So when I asked you if he's marriage minded, you said you believe this, but it sounds like you're not marriage minded
Right.
with him. This is where you say
You
something.
might be on a point.
But see, I know, and this isn't fair.
Because here's the thing. When I said it's been a year, it wasn't a whole year of it was like dating and then more commitment. But we've been talking about things now and where we see this going later.
Okay, well, let me just
And
stop you. Let me
also-
stop you right here. If you know you want to be married, you need to be dealing with men who can actually. Do you want to be a stay-at-home wife?
Ideally,
Do you want to be a stay-at-home wife?
yes.
Then see, let me tell you something, young lady, and everybody else in there. You need to stop this game playing. You need to just say what it is you want and then understand that. Because the way you're saying this right now, you're setting this boy up. You're setting this relationship up to end up breaking his heart.
I always feel like I can help support and push and motivate, but then I have older people also tell me I shouldn't rely on potential, but I'm like,
Are these older women married?
some and some not.
Okay, understand something. Don't listen to women when it comes to marriage.
Okay.
You need to be listening to men. And the thing is, see, many of you young women look at men your age and you want them to be able to produce like men my age.
Right.
They can't.
Right.
He can't.
Because it doesn't work that way. It takes time and decades to build resources to get to that level. This shit just don't happen overnight. It's impossible for it to happen overnight unless you hit the lottery or some dumbass shit like that. Which, as we all know the numbers, that doesn't happen that often. Let's just keep it real. So, for this young man to have built something, vastly enough to make her a stay-at-home wife from the door. Oh my goodness, that's not finna happen at all. At all.
He cannot. I could not produce like me now at 20 some odd. And that's so unfair. You young ladies want these young, good men to go out and be more than 23. So this is why you got to be honest. If you want to be married and be a stay-at-home wife, you need to be dating men only who can do that. Don't be getting, see, We often hear about how women get done wrong and women get strung along, such and so forth. But what we don't hear is this story. Women like yourself, you may not be doing it maliciously, but you know you want something different that this guy cannot provide. And this is how a lot of guys end up getting twisted up, because some guy comes along who's older and can provide these things. Next thing you know, you're breaking up with this guy. Ladies, get real with yourself, understand what you want, and date that. Don't play with men, because you don't like it when men play with you.
Right.
And the reason I push that so much, ma'am, is because you got all those women around you, and I know you're getting bad advice. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny to me, because there's a 23-year-old man on the other side. Was he raised by his father?
He's raised by both parents.
Does he love you?
I have to think about it for a bit.
Has he said he loved you?
Yes.
What do you mean you had to think about it for a bit?
Because we're, like I
Did
said,
he say he loved you?
Yes.
Then what the French toast is there to think about?
Because it's been a minute since he said something like that.
All right. I'm going to let you go ahead and go, because I'm sensing the deception in the game plan. And you're a little young for this. You need to know what it is. See, if you want to be married, get away.
No, I appreciate
You
what
need
you're
to get
saying.
away
I'm
from them
listening.
old toxic women, because you're far too potentially manipulative for this young age. The deception, the
He's doing
vagueness, the
purpose if
vagary. I'm hearing a bunch of older women and a bunch of bitterness. You should be happy, optimistic, and hopeful at this age. Not this hedging and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah.
No, it's just a complicated thing, and I wasn't gonna go that.
It shouldn't be
much
that
in
complicated at
detail.
your age,
Right.
man.
Right.
It shouldn't be complicated at your
Right.
age.
Not at that
Life
age.
ain't complicated at your age. It's just not. It's not complicated at your age. You're 20. You don't have any real world responsibility, real world bill. You got any kids?
No.
Then it ain't complicated. You were at the prom 2 years ago. Knock it off. You got all them older women in your ear, tainting your spirit and overcomplicating and overburdening you as a 20-year-old and that young man as a 23-year-old. And no one to actually sit down and pull you out of it. Where's your dad?
He lives a few hours away,
But
he's in my life.
Huh?
My parents divorced when I was young.
Javon, unmute yourself. If the man said if the man said he loved you, did you say you loved him back? Lativia,
Hello?
Yes.
Did you say you loved him back?
Yes.
Do you?
I do. I just don't want to make decisions based. I have so much, like you said, different things in my ear of just worry about feelings, and then there's other
Get some
parts that's
counseling,
like,
young lady. And get away from those old bitter broads before you jack your life up. That's as nice as I can put it. You got too much. You got too many. All this negative stuff ain't come from your lived experience. Javon, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What did I get wrong?
Nothing you got wrong. I guess I just want to talk about a few things that you've talked about with the caller so far.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Are you in church?
No.
Okay.
So the one lady, she sounded like she had a British accent.
Okay.
You asked the question, how come black people don't know this? I think maybe there might be a cultural difference. So maybe the upbringing is not leading for people to know.
Okay. What did you
You want to-
okay. Do me a favor. Are you coming in to respond to them, or did you have something you wanted to discuss with me?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess responding to them.
Who are you and why should they listen to you?
Well, I guess that's the point of the dialogue. I guess I would
No,
say
no.
what I would have to say.
Here's the
and
thing:
then-
the dialogue. I don't mind it, but why should they listen to you? You're not in church, right?
No,
Are you a Christian?
no,
Are you married?
no.
The title of the broadcast is Married to Jesus. Why should God send you a high value husband?
Okay,
You're not
well-
married, you're not in church, and you're not a Christian. And why should these ladies listen to you?
Well, I don't agree that.
Gotcha,
I
bitch.
guess I agree with what you're saying, that you should not have to be waiting for Jesus to send you a good man.
But
Why they
you
should listen to
came on
me?
here, but here's the thing, man. You came on here to give them advice. Why?
I don't want to give them advice. I wanted to discuss to say why I think that maybe certain people don't know this, is what you were saying.
See, I'm using you as an avatar, man. What's going on in your life? Do you have any kids?
No,
Do you have a boyfriend?
no.
Who's the last long-term relationship you had?
About a year ago.
How long was that?
It was about a year.
About a year? About a year could
Yeah.
be 4 months. What was
11 months.
it? Okay. And it was a year ago. Why'd you guys break up?
Well, I broke up with him because everything we discussed, he reneged on.
Such as?
We were talking about marriage. He didn't want to get married anymore. He didn't want to have kids anymore.
Uh-huh. What's the longest term relationship you've had other than that one?
That's probably about the longest.
Okay. So you're 27
Yeah.
and you've had an 11-month relationship, and that's the longest in your 27 years.
Yeah.
And you think it's better to go have a dialogue about other women's misunderstandings than what's going on in your mirror.
Not necessarily.
Yes, that's
I'm
yes,
open
yes,
to both.
necessary, yes, ma'am. Because you didn't come up here and say, "Hey, here's what's going on with me, and I like to figure out why I can't get a man or keep a man or figure out what's going on." But instead, you're gonna go give somebody else advice. That's exactly right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I asked you. Why should they listen to you? You don't have it. You're not a Christian. You're not in church, and you're not married. And this happens far too often with black women. You try to give people advice and you're not fit to give it.
Hey, but we gonna stop it right there. You know what I'm saying? Real talk though, at the end of the day, I think we all know by now, especially since Brother Kevin has passed, you know, shit has really hit the fan. Winter is here now. Literally and figuratively, it's both of them. And yeah, it's getting even more crazier, you know, out here. And it's seeming like, you know, to me that the women are not trying to, you know, of course they're not going to give up their position. They're going to double down on it. And, you know, they want to do what they want to do, which, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, do what you want to do with your life, you know. But in the back end, the situation about it is, you know, all the complaining. That's the problem everybody else is having with it. You know, do what you want to do with your life. But the problem is, they're complaining on the background. But it is what it is, folks. You know what I'm saying? If you made it this far, I sure appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, always hit that like button. I always hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Even hit that share button. You know, I sure appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my subscribers, 10 toes down. And like I always say about this time, that, my friends, is the bottom line